Welcome back to Coder Beans. In part 7 of our DOM manipulation in JavaScript series, we're diving into advanced topics that will supercharge your web development skills. Join us as we explore transition and animation, DOM events in JavaScript, including keyboard events, form events, document loading events, and window events. Transition and animation. To create transitions and animations in HTML and CSS, you can use the transition and at keyframes properties. Here's a working example of both transition and animation. In index.html file, write this code. Change title to transition and animation example. In style tag, write this code. Define the CSS for the element with transition. Box. Width 100px. Height 100px. Background color red. Transition width 1 second, height 1 second, background color 1 second. Define the CSS for the element with animation. Animated box. Width 100px. Height 100px, background color blue. Animations. Bounce 2 seconds. Infinite. Define the animation keyframes. Keyframes bounce 0%, 100%. Transform. Translate Y 0, 50%. Transform. Translate Y minus 50px. Style the buttons. Button margin 10px. Padding 5px 10px. Font size 16px. In the body tag, write this code. A dev tag with class equals box and ID equals transition box. A dev tag with class equals animated box. A button tag with ID equals transition button. Button text toggle transition. A button tag with ID equals animation button. Button text toggle animation. In script tag, write this code. Get references to the elements and buttons. Const transition box equals document.get element by ID transition box. Const transition button equals document.get element by ID transition button. Const animated box equals document.query selector.animated box. Const animation button equals document.get element by ID animation button. Function to toggle transition. Function toggle transition. Transition box.classlist.toggle box. Function to toggle animation. Function toggle animation. Animated box.classlist.toggle animated box. Add click event listeners to the buttons. Transition button.add event listener, click, toggle transition. Animation button.add event listener, click, toggle animation. Click on Go Live in VS Code. You will get the following output in a browser window. 2 boxes. A transition box red box and an animated box blue box. These boxes creates an animation by transforming its position in Y direction. 2 buttons toggle transition and toggle animation. When you click on toggle transition button, it changes from animated blue and red box to animated blue box only. When you click on toggle animation button, it changes from animation to no animation. In this example 1, we have an HTML document with 2 elements. One has a transition applied and the other has an animation applied. There are also 2 buttons to toggle the transition and animation. 2. In the CSS section, we define the styles for the transition element, class box, and the animated element, class animated box. We specify a transition property for the transition, and we define an animation called bounce using keyframes for the animated element. 3. When you click the toggle transition button, it toggles the box class on the transition element. This triggers a transition effect on the element's width, height, and background color. 4. When you click the toggle animation button, it toggles the animated box class on the animated element. This triggers an animation where the element bounces up and down. You can experiment with this example to see how transitions and animations work in response to button clicks. Transitions create smooth property changes over a specified duration, while animations allow you to create custom, keyframe-based animations. DOM events in JavaScript. In the context of JavaScript and web development, DOM events refer to interactions and occurrences that take place within the document object model, DOM, of a web page. These events are generated by user actions, the browser, or other sources and can be detected and handled by JavaScript code. DOM events are a fundamental part of creating interactive web applications. There are numerous types of events in JavaScript, but some of the most commonly used events include: 1. Mouse events. Click occurs when a mouse click is detected. Mouse over and mouse out, triggered when the mouse pointer enters or leaves an element. Mouse down and mouse up, fired when a mouse button is pressed down or released. Mouse move occurs when the mouse pointer moves over an element. 2. Keyboard events. Key down and key up, triggered when a key on the keyboard is pressed or released. Key press occurs when a character key is pressed. 3. Form events. Submit, fired when a form is submitted. Input, change, and focus, events related to form input elements. 4. Document loading events. Load occurs when a web page and its resources, e.g., images, have finished loading. DOM content loaded, fired when the initial HTML document has been completely loaded and parsed. 5. Window events. Resize occurs when the browser window is resized. Scroll, triggered when the user scrolls a page. Before unload, fired when a user attempts to leave a page, typically prompting a confirmation dialog. 6. Touch events. Touch start, touch move, and touch end, events related to touch input on touchscreen devices. 7. Custom events. Developers can create custom events to trigger specific actions within their applications. 8. Drag and drop events. Events related to dragging and dropping elements on a web page. 9. Media events. Events associated with audio and video elements such as play, pause, and ended. 10. Network events. Events related to network requests like load, error, and read a stata change. These are just a few examples of commonly used DOM events in JavaScript. Event handling is essential for creating interactive and responsive web applications. You can attach event listeners to DOM elements to respond to user actions and control the behavior of your web page. In the next part, we will explain most of these events with examples. Ready to take your JavaScript skills to the next level? Subscribe to Coder Beans now and unlock the secrets of DOM manipulation and beyond.